kick this off and see what's going to happen as we go into game. SortOf and Neeb going to be coming up here as we get this rolling. Alright, to the top right hand side, our red Protoss player from Ting. This is Neeb. And at the bottom left hand side, this is SortOf. So getting ready for this game number 1 and looking to see what these guys are going to get up to. As you see this probe coming down to the low ground. We're going to be heading across to the bottom left hand side. Seeing what's going on here. Liquipedia is up to date. Liquipedia is also up to date. I just meant that when I said Liquipedia wasn't up to date before, I really just meant that it was it just meant that it was just not showing all of the matches, so it wasn't really very useful. Now we've got this match here getting started, as we do have the probe coming over towards the main base. This PvZ getting going in the first few moments of this now. So probe taking a little bit of a nibble from this drone, so a little bit of damage being dealt there already. Probe going to be taking a few hits. And again, just going to be seeing that Nexus coming down on the natural here. Cybernetic core being placed down by Neeb. So getting this set up as well, as we do see the hatch gas and pool is again coming through here. SortOf just took down Cure. That was a big win for him, and interested to see how this SortOf Neeb series goes then. I guess we're playing on West server, yeah, so Neeb is managed enough to let SortOf play on the West Coast. Neeb being East Coast NA means his ping to Europe's not that bad, so basically he could have... Oh my god, my overlay's wrong again. And you know what, that's because I didn't look at the frickin' expert screen. Alright guys, then let me just do this again. It's because we swapped servers again. Oh, it's so frustrating. This is going to happen tomorrow as well, I just know it is. This is because we now swapped to the NA server. Aye. Alright, give me a second, guys. Let me follow someone while I chop this up. Like we did before. Yeah, this will get fixed after this game. It's just one of those things. The first game is going to have this server lane. We'll fix it afterwards. I did just change it, right? Options. Yes, I did. So it's good after this. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. Anyways, Twilight Council coming in here in the back of the natural expansions. Again, that Twilight down as the Adept goes shading on forwards. Having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. So Adept moving forwards here. Twilight Council about to finish. I mean, Neeb for a fast Twilight like this, looking for maybe a Glaives opening or that. Or he's just got a very late robo for the prison. And he's going to go for DT Shrine. Which is a possibility too. A link gets in towards, or two links get in towards the main, but the tech isn't there. So actually SortOf, for as good as this scout is, he's actually going to completely miss what is actually happening. As this does start to look like a Dark Shrine from Neeb. So there you go, Dark Shrine drops down. The two Adepts on the other side of the map don't really get much done, as they are going to be moving back through into the middle. Why are they on NA? Because the players agree to play on NA. The rules say you have to play European server unless the players agree otherwise. Neeb agreed to play on NA to give SortOf less ping disadvantage. Good guy Neeb, eh? Good guy Neeb. His Dark Shrine is just about halfway done here at the moment. He's going to see a few gates on the way up. And you're going to see that Robo just chrono boosting out the Warp Prism as well at the moment. So getting that going for the moment. And as we just see, 3 extra gates finishing means the 4 DTs can obviously warp in. This Overlord trying to scout as well. I mean, right now, SortOf is very blind, apart from the fact he can say, well, you know what? I guess I haven't seen like an Oracle or a Phoenix or anything yet still. And as you see, that Overlord is going to be having that picked off. So Overlord gets picked off there, and Again, we see the 4 DTs warping in from this prism down on the bottom side. Now, oftentimes with the DT attacks nowadays, you actually see double prism and double Archon drop, but it doesn't seem to be a case just yet. Oh, nope, there we go. Second prism now being chrono boosted out. So Neeb is getting towards that. He's going to look to try and micro his way into a whole bunch of damage with this early on. So prism coming back down towards the bottom side. You're going to see Queens immediately jumping on it as the Archons come in. Neeb didn't waste any time going in towards, DTs trying to harass Spore Crawlers or anything. Tell you what, though, SortOf does not have his Roach run on time because I think he was just a little bit kind of caught off guard as to what this is. And because of that, he doesn't have Roaches up to defend this, so this is actually quite problematic at the moment. Neeb saw that opportunity to warp in some extra Zealots, which are dealing some good damage here. There's Archon on the Spore Crawler too, because, well, there is a layer up. He warps in 4 more DTs just from this first prism still. I think this third base might actually be in some real trouble right now. DTs are going to sit between the bases where there's definitely not spores, although there can be Overseers morphed in, and there's one morphing in right now, but it's not ready yet. One DT down to the low ground here. Those DTs pulling back as well, obviously wants to keep them alive. As we are just going to be seeing again, Roaches and Queens coming forwards. The Prism coming over the right side here. Dark Templar continue to drop down. I mean, these Archons are dealing so much damage. The DTs aren't being focused because, well, there's just not enough units to focus them, really. 2 more Zealots warping in, and Neeb's attack is getting crazy now. As the DTs get low, he morphs in Archons, and the Prism, I'm sure, will be right over there. I mean, there's this Prism here, too. Neeb just isn't lifting up anything right now. He's that confident about this. Great control from Neeb so far. He's lost barely nothing. 2 Zealots have gone down. The damage done here is just the sort of damage that ends games. There is no real recovery from an attack like this. As you see that hat-trick going down as well. And, yeah, I mean, more Overlords just being picked away at, too. I mean, this is really just so over for SortOf. He was just not ready for this all. I mean, Neeb did this really well, and it just became way too much, way too quickly. More Archons warping in. Neeb's just going to keep this aggressive. His third Nexus finally on the way up at home. Obviously very delayed with the amount of stuff he's warped in over here, but he's done the damage to justify it. Killing the third hatchery really is that sort of point where there's very little to come back from for SortOf. As the Archon control of the Prism should be pretty pristine as well. I mean, Neeb is still at the point of only having lost 4 Zealots here. 3,300 resources more efficient in the game. One Prism warping in, the other Prism moving around to micro. And, well, SortOf types out GG. Neeb picks up game number 1 just like that. You purchased through my affiliate links, do check that out. And boom, we fixed it. Alright, let's hope we don't have to do that again. As we have to the top left-hand side, our red Protoss player. This, my friends, up a game is Neeb. Playing against the blue Zerg in the bottom right-hand side. This is SortOf. So game 2 of this right now. Going to be seeing this probe coming down through the center. Okay, we're coming up here from Neeb. Hatchery coming down on the natural expansion as well. Overlord still flying overhead as the probe runs underneath. And again, just going to be seeing the early game scan from Neeb just to kind of check those usual things as to what's going on. Quick update in the other match. Cyan versus Gumiho currently ongoing, and Gumiho in that picture-in-picture has a force on Cyan's natural expansion. A force that is very quickly dismantling and taking it apart. Gumiho picks up game 1 against Cyan over in another of the qualifying matches. We'll have more action from that as the games go through. Nexus is on its way down from Neeb, getting expanding there. Cybernetics Core will drop in as well. Again, just going to be seeing that Overlord coming in towards the upper left-hand side. Just seeing what's going on here in these early stages. Just getting this going. Cybercore coming up, and we do see the Nexus is going to be finishing up very shortly as well. A couple of Queens and Lings on the way out. Stargate going to be starting up in the main base there. So getting that Stargate up, a couple of queens on the way out. Just going to see that one probe running around over the left side. And again, the third hatchery coming in here as well. Again, just going to be seeing that Stargate on the way up here from Neeb as well. All of this just getting going, guys. Nothing too crazy. Everything what we expect this to be in the early game of this PvZ. Everything as we expected so far. I'm liking it. I am liking it. Stargate on the way up. Finishing now. So I just moved my headset to give my ear a break for a second. This headset really hurts my ear. We've been live for like 8 hours, so after 8 hours my ear does hurt. And sometimes needs a couple moments just to get, get a nice little kind of, get better rub. All good now though. Couple overlords on the way up here as we get that going. So overlords coming through as the adepts coming back up to the top side. What's up, Nathanius in the chat? How you doing? There's Neeb getting his oracle on the way in here at the moment. So getting the oracle on the way up. Stargate coming in the back of this natural expansion. And again, just a couple of queens moving over to the left-hand side here. Third hatchery is down. And again, 5 drones up. Couple of spores building. Second Stargate coming through now as well. That does start from SortOf. Let's see, this oracle is going to be coming down to the bottom right-hand side. So coming down towards the bottom right, we do have to the top just those couple of lings trying to scout. I mean, this game a lot less kind of surprise factor for SortOf. He sees the Stargate, etc. And he's got a bit more of a clue of what's going on right away, so shouldn't be dying to some attack here. As you see, 2 drones picked off for that typical Phoenix lifting of the Queen action. Again, the double Stargate now from Neeb, though, means a lot of Phoenix coming through, and that is something that SortOf doesn't know about. So SortOf doesn't see Stargate 2. He doesn't know about the Phoenix for a while. But that is pretty regular. A lot of the time, the majority of the time, you don't see this because the Phoenix will have already killed off the Overlord that was originally scouting. And so you don't usually find out about these Phoenix until there's 6 or 7 of them, and Neeb starts to pull them across the map to actually begin being aggressive. So, again, so far, completely regular here. The 2 Zealots are going to start moving forwards themselves, and as they start moving forwards, there's a Hydralisk Den from SortOf coming in on the back of the main base. Phoenix up the right-hand side. Going to be picking its way through this Overlord. That's a... But I genuinely thought the game disconnected there. Like, did anyone else? Like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, what? The Overlord stopped and the Phoenix stopped. What was that? That was weird. What? I was like, what? That was so weird. Huh. Well, Phoenix picking up some of these roaches to minimize the effectiveness of a potential attack across the map. Essentially just 3 units for Neeb at the moment, just picking those up. Just costing him some energy, but it buys sort of a little bit of time. He's already got the Hydra Den down. He is making Hydras, so he will have a bit of an answer to this as we see these Phoenix are going to continue over towards the bottom right. We come through, and Queen doesn't go down just yet. A couple of drones getting picked up. 5 drones going down there, and again the Phoenix going to escape out over to the left side. Another Phoenix coming down this left-hand side as well, ready to jump in with this little crew of Phoenix. What's up, hello Zergling? Thank you so much for the 300 bits. Happy Cake Day! Thank you so much for the bits, dude. Appreciate it. As we do have the Phoenix again flying around to the far right-hand side, though. They're going to be coming down into the main base in a moment or two. So, jumping straight down here, and they are going to be... we're going to pick up a couple of drones. So already a couple of workers going down. Again, job well done at the moment as we see a melee upgrade on the way up. So, looking to play that Lingbane Hydra style makes a lot of sense with these Phoenix. It's going to be seeing 7 gates on the way up right now. Charge coming through. And these Phoenix out in the center of the map. Just going to be still patrolling around. Resources lost so far, not that bad from SortOf. Only 1,468. It's actually pretty okay for a TVP for a PvZ sort of setup that's been double Stargate Phoenix. Now he's moving down to the south, and that's a lot of Phoenix. The fact that Neeb didn't lose any, of course, is fantastic as well. It means he's getting tons of energy to utilize throughout the rest of the game. Going to be seeing those Phoenix coming out in towards the center. Psystorm on the way up, being chrono boosted out. +2 attack on the way in as well. All of this going to be a big deal, as again they're just going to be seeing these Hydras. Kind of wanted to maybe grab some of those Phoenix, but the Phoenix are a little bit evasive at the moment, so not allowing anything to happen here. And again, the next stage of this obviously for Neeb, he's building up into those Immortals, the Storm coming through. I mean, for SortOf, you just want to sit back and keep on defending, right? If you move out on the map, you're too easily exposed. You lose a lot very easily as well. You know, the Phoenix deal a lot of damage and they come back and they fight the army, so you're just kind of opening yourselves up. Whereas if you sit back for a good long while until you're really sure you're ready to fight, again, it just keeps the Phoenix from getting too much done. It really solidifies your position to attack with. And attacking early might seem good because it's like, oh, well, you know, there's no Storm yet, there's no Immortals yet. It just doesn't really work like that because you just don't have enough yourself to really deal with the Phoenix if they come back and help out too. Phoenix coming over to the center, and you're going to see just a few more High Templar and a Zealots warping in. A couple of Archons getting morphed in behind that there. We see the Spire and the Hive coming in, so SortOf probably looking towards a greater Spire here. As we do see again those Phoenix hanging around on the top. Lings, Banes, and Hydras from SortOf. And they've all pressed forwards here, and they are moving up through the center of the map at the moment. A few Zealots here from Neeb going to move on over to the left. And, well, other than that, a +2 melee coming up from SortOf. Just still playing his Lingbane Hydra style. But again, playing the Lingbane Hydra to buy time to get into Broodlords. And he is almost there with those Broodlords. Neeb, well, he's already beginning to get a response up to them. Getting the Fleet Beacon down is obviously the answer. Getting himself the chance to go in towards Tempest. Phoenix left over to the right side. A ton of Banes morphing over here. 28 Banelings. All for aggression as we see a huge Zealot run by, though. Straight into the natural, and a few of them going to pull back and go for this hatchery over here. Also Zealots on the third base, so suddenly Zealots absolutely everywhere, and they are going to start going crazy on the drones. Already 17 workers dead, and now Neeb using this as a chance to push forwards with the rest of his army. Phoenix are still out of position, though. Remember, they're still up here, but maybe they can lift up enough of these Banes to shut them down. Stop too much from happening. Neeb doesn't see it, though. He's busy elsewhere. Okay, now he sees it. Oh, man, these Phoenix are going to have a field day lifting up Banelings. It's a party. 3 Banelings. Lovely. Really nice from Neeb, obviously, and he just, may as well. He has so many Phoenix with so much energy on them. It's a great little pickup for him. Loads done there. As we're going to be seeing those Hydras taking down Zealots on the far right side. We still see Zealots, Immortals, and Archons in the center. Storm there on those Zerglings. Doing a little bit of damage to Maulings going down. Big storms at the moment. Big storms at the moment. Again, Banes and Hydras from SortOf continue to pull back up to the top side. Stasis Ward is going to complete. I mean, in a way, it acts as a massive force field, so these Zealots will not have a great time. It means those Hydras are going to be left around over here, and, well, that's obviously not so great. Storms again on the Lings and the Banes, and they just get decimated. And, well, now there's not going to be an army to back up this group of Hydras that's stuck on the high ground, so that's also going to be easy pickings here from Neeb, although maybe wants to pull this low-health Archon back. Storms preemptively, and, well, again, the Hydras get picked off pretty much instantly there. Lings try and come in on the other side. Right now, these Phoenix are just going to come in. They kill off these Hydras so quickly. And they're just going to lift all of them up as the army on the ground will help to clean it up as well. And Neeb is taking a huge lead here in this game number 2. Looking very, very good for him at the moment here, actually. As we're going to be seeing, well, 5 carriers on the way up. That's very good for him. That's really good. That's actually kind of crazy. Alright, well, a bunch of carriers on the way in at the moment. Getting themselves set up here. The bottom right side, the Phoenix are still hanging around. What's the resources lost like? I reckon it's like a 4,500, 5,000 resources difference. Oof. Man, it's so hard to judge. 7,500 resources lost more for SortOf than Neeb in this game. Man, these fights have been so good for Neeb, and he's been keeping SortOf's economy pinned back as well with those Zealot run-bys. And that's very big for him as well, as we're going to be seeing those drones continue to be picked away at here. A couple of drones going down. You'll see those Zealots fighting against this Queen, so Queen will go down as well. And a few more drones also continue to drop. 8 workers down at the moment. Phoenix coming down to the bottom right side. Hydra's underneath those Brood Lords, as we do see the Lings able to keep on picking their way through that Nexus here. The pylon going down. Again, the Archon able to pick up a couple more of those Zerglings. As we see the Phoenix going to fly in towards the mineral line and pick up a whole bunch of these drones. So, getting more drones down here. As Neeb, again, just continuing to extend his lead in this game. Number 2. I mean, he even gives up the Phoenix now. That's because he doesn't want them anymore. He really doesn't. He wants these extra carriers, and he's just going to keep on chrono boosting them out. Neeb's using a skin. Report him! I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a big deal. Neeb just forgetting to turn off his forged carriers here. Hopefully not going to be too much of an issue. As we see more Broodlords on the way up. Going to be seeing the Lings coming down. Probably just because he swapped server, actually. And didn't realize it when he swapped servers. As you do see the Oracle coming down through the center of the map as well. Just hanging around at the moment. And again, well, this army coming down the left side from Neeb, it's just going to be looking good. He's got no mothership. Mothership's very late compared to what you might expect it to be. That surprises me a little bit. Don't really think there's much of a reason to delay the mothership or anything, so it's just a little bit strange here. And as we have got the Lings continue to pile on up on the top right-hand side here on Parasite. More beings morphing in, and again, just seeing some carriers picking off some creep tumors here. Just a little bit more creep going down. There's an Immortal coming in with those High Templar. Interceptors going wild, and again, well, there's a revelation on top of this army. We've seen them abduct on the Oracle. Oracle getting brought forward there on the bottom side. A couple of Immortals are going to pick their way through hatchery. I mean, Immortals at this stage of the game also become a little bit less kind of useful. So having them picking away the hatchery is actually a great way for them to trade because they're so good against buildings. Killing that Spine Crawler too. Abducts on the carriers here right away. Storms on the Brood Lords. Hydra's having a pretty good fight here so far. Never abducted, and that's another dead carrier. Neeb having to be a little bit careful. Again, finding out the mothership definitely makes it a bit easier for some of these things to happen. As he actually needs to make sure he doesn't leave this Voidra in the carrier behind. As he has 5 more carriers again coming up in production. 30 kills between these two Immortals as they go down to the Hydralisks. Again, at this stage, sort of losing another base is really painful because he's set down on, well, a main map's barely mining. Natural's in a similar position. Third, will actually hold out for now, but these bases are really the healthy ones. So he's essentially on 2 bases while Neeb just keeps expanding himself. Has plenty of healthy bases and is obviously only looking to get more up as he slowly works his way through the creep spread along the left-hand side of the map. Still pressing down here. Creep obviously again being picked away. The mothership is now out, but it isn't with the army yet. It is on its way over, so making the journey. A couple of nice feedbacks on the first couple of Vipers. They're going to be instantly taken down in HP, and well, we'll have to obviously regain their energy, so starting to consume that hatchery. Another feedback on one of the high energy Vipers. Good stuff so far, really limiting the amount of abducts that are available. Still pressing forwards here. We see the carriers able to pick their way through. The Spore Crawler, we see this hatchery going to be in some trouble as well. Will go down. No cancel either. On the top side, Hydras continue to push up. Lings getting a little bit of surround on those cannons here. Extra Zealots warping in, and they're going to go charging in towards those Hydras. So a couple of Hydras starting to go down. That Baneling in the back gets off on a couple of the Zealots there. But again, the Zealots going to continue to run forwards and picking up another couple of Hydralisks. Zerglings able to get us around and picking up even more Zealots here. Is going to be seeing more of these Zealots getting set to go. Continue to fight. See the High Templar are fighting against some more of these Zerglings here. Neeb pressing forwards with these carriers in the mothership. And again, just going to be seeing these Broodlords still coming out towards the center. A couple Broods coming through. A few Hydras on the way out, plus some missiles and Neural Parasite. And he's sort of still trying to upgrade everything here, but Neeb is just slowly picking them apart. Resources lost has gotten a little bit closer, but I mean, now Neeb has a ton of Zealots on this right side, although, you know what, Bane's here to respond. It's just that Neeb is kind of, well, as he loses a High Templar, Neeb is kind of choking out his opponent in this game as well. He's got a bunch of High Templar here. Drops a ton of Storms and just morphs in Archons, which will actually survive this, but yeah, not sure what he was doing with so much over that. As Neeb is again just looking around, finding openings. I mean, a couple drones over here going down. Going to be seeing more Zealots, massive Zealots, man. He just has so many warpins available. 17 gateways here. As you're going to see the carriers pressing forwards into this fight, actually. And the Interceptor's already coming through. The Mothership got abducted in. There's so many Interceptors, and there's not really that much to fight them. The Corruptor count doesn't feel that great. Zealots doing a good job of this already. Another, oh my god, 12 Zealots warping in here. As you see, that Void Ray even having a good time against the Corruptors. And SortOf is being picked apart right now. Neeb has way too much. And there it is, GG. Neeb takes game number. Full-time StarCraft 2 streamer, caster, content producer. For now, though, we have to the top left. Game 3 of this. Straight in with our red Protoss. This is Neeb up against the blue Zerg. In the bottom right, we have SortOf. Gonna quickly picture up the Cyan versus Gumiho series. Gumiho up 2-0 over here. And is up heavily in workers and army. Is going to be dropping the naturalist. Cyan is across the map and might just be. He's also dropping the main. So actually Cyan is in a ton of trouble over in that game. Looks like Gumiho is going to be winning the third game and the series. Probably to take that home and to qualify himself through into the second stage, which we'll be playing out tomorrow. So Gumiho doing game-ending damage over there. As you can see in that picture versus picture, the drops are having huge amounts of success. And it's just pulling Cyan apart. So Gumiho having a great time. And again, we'll be looking to qualify. If anything of that changes, I will let you guys know. But I'm pretty sure that's almost just a given at this point that that game is going to wrap up. A couple Queens on the way out here from SortOf, as we're going to be seeing this Overlord hanging out overhead as well. An Adept on the way through. Stargate comes in the main base. So getting that set up right here. So Stargate coming in right now, and well, yeah, just going to be seeing that Queen from SortOf on its way up. A couple Lings and a drone from SortOf just going to pick their way through this pylon, so pylon will drop, and the hatchery from SortOf will get set up as well. So again, let's go. What's up, Melty? How you doing? Love you too, bro. How's it going today? As you do see this Stargate about to finish up, we're going to be seeing the Overlord coming in over the left-hand side, and again, just going to be seeing the Ling speed starting up from SortOf. Getting this going. Third hatchery from SortOf gets started up. And again, a couple of drones, Queen, all of this getting going. Again, just quick confirmation, Gumiho did win game 3 of that series. Is there any qualifying matches that did the start? Marine Lord against Hero or Geralt, maybe, actually? That'd be a really cool one to grab. If we could grab that one. Yeah, Marine Lord's not in game yet, so... Also, Bunny versus Fantasy / Bly, also not in game yet. Snoot, also not in game yet, so... There's a few we could maybe look to grab here. So we'll keep our eyes on all of that. As you do see this Adept being chased down, and it does shade away. But one Adept did fall. Gets a drone. Gets quite a lot of Zerglings, honestly, though. And that's obviously quite nice, because if Zerglings going down, you do get to a point where you're like, oh, well, I guess I should probably rebuild these, right? Because otherwise further aggression can obviously go kind of bad for me. Oracle is on the way up here as well from Neeb, so again, changing up his style from that last game from the double Stargate Phoenix. This game, Phoenix Oracle into a Robo Facility very quickly. 3 games on the trot where Neeb is open different ways. Just makes it very difficult for SortOf to start kind of blind countering him here. And all of that sort of stuff as we see this Phoenix going to be working its way through that Overlord on the top side. And this Oracle of Neeb also heading down to the bottom right-hand side to see what's up as well. Lair coming in here from SortOf, so getting that going. As you do see the Twilight Council, the Robo Facility also still coming through at the moment. And Oracle picking up a few of those drones there as the Phoenix isn't even around to lift up a Queen, but still drones going down. Again, nicely done so far. And we've seen the Lair on the way up here from SortOf as well, so getting that started over in the main base. We see the Phoenix and the Oracle here also just pressing forwards and again looking to apply some pressure in the next few moments as we see creep spread. Again from SortOf will continue to be placed on down. So continuing to get this going. So a couple of Queens just hanging out on the top. The Oracle gets super low as picks up another 3 drones. And good damage being done so far as Neeb escaping out over to the left-hand side here. Charge getting going from Neeb, as we're going to be seeing the Nexus dropping down on the third base as well. Again, just going to be seeing a couple of Zerglings just patrolling around out in the center. Two Archons morphing in, so that Archon drop follow-up getting set to go. By the way, a couple of qualifying matches getting ready to go. Ziggy Snoot is something we're going to jump into over on the second screen for more updates and highlights. Might even jump in and cast that as a priority. As you do see those couple of Archons coming over, they're going to fight against this Queen. And already that Queen taking quite a bit of damage, chased away behind the mineral line there. And we've seen the Archon still pressing in, able to pick a Queen up right there. Oh, that Archon needs to lift up. Ooh, super last moment. 6 gates though here from Neeb, and with Charge about to finish, this aggression is about to really kick off. Having already lost the Queens though is kind of a big deal. Leaves one Archon on the low ground, the third. There's nothing morphing in here, so this Archon is actually going to be able to have the time of its life, as these Zealots are just causing chaos. Hydra's on the way up, but they're just being picked apart, and well, I mean, yeah, 9 drones already dead, more Zealots warping in, and SortOf is just not prepared for this at all. And this is looking as though it's going to be pretty much over, as we see extra Zealots continue to run in. Neeb takes game number 3, and he shuts this down with a 3